Now that right there is a nostalgic sound, to say the least. Oh, there's all the chat from before, because I guess this is a different chat instance and such. So, wait, what are the audio levels like? Is this too loud? Is this too quiet? It might be loud. Let's see. It's gonna get loud in a sec. Okay, maybe it's okay. We're gonna turn down a bit, actually. Hold on. Let me open volume mixer real quick. We're gonna turn down a few smidges and stuff. Yeah, it seems loud here. I guess it's because my own volume was small there. There. That's as quiet as the emulator itself gets, but I can also turn it down with an OBS here, like this. There. So that should be much better audio. Anyway, so recently the remakes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were announced, and I'm working on a dedicated video essay addressing it right now, but the short version of my opinion is I really don't like what it's shaping up to be. So what I decided we'd do on the channel here is we would do a playthrough of Pokemon Platinum, so that then when the remakes come out, we can go ahead and compare it, like, see just how it compares to the originals. Like, I guess we could be playing Diamond or Pearl for, like, the originals rather than the enhanced third version a year later. But it'd be really fascinating to, like, compare and contrast how the remakes coming out in, like, later this year, I guess, maybe this fall or something like that, compare to just the enhanced third version and such. Because I really don't like the art style of the of the remakes coming out, and it doesn't really seem like they'll have a lot of new mechanics that weren't in the originals anyway. And I really like the sprite work of the originals, so I mean, it could be genuinely surprising. We'll see. We'll see exactly what the remakes are like. But for now, let's enjoy this. Yeah, I really enjoy the kind of chibi sprite art that's just really charming. It kind of gives me almost a Fire Emblem kind of, well, maybe not Fire Emblem type of 2D sprite art, but it is something that's like really charming with the sprites and such. So lined up here, you can barely see it, but I do have Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. And my first main series Pokemon game that I ever played was actually Diamond version here. My first Pokemon game I ever played, and my first handheld game I ever played, was actually Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. But my first main series game that I ever played was Diamond version. And then from there, later, I got into it, and I wound up picking up Pearl version as well, but Diamond version was always like my main go-to, and my first ever like real Pokemon adventure. And then later on from there, I went on to buy Pokemon Platinum version. And these are games I used to play with my friends in elementary school. I also pre-ordered Pokemon Platinum, and I remember when you pre-ordered that game, it came with this Giratina figurine, which I still have to this day. Unfortunately, I don't think the camera can pick it up, but one of the spikes on its head, you can sort of see it. You can't really, it's not focusing in. But one of the spikes is kind of chipped off and missing, so it's not exactly like pristine condition, which is like really sad. I don't know where that chip went. But man, I miss the days that you used to get like cool stuff like that with pre-orders. What happened to those days? Same year, actually, the first Pokemon game was Explorers Sky with first main series Diamond. Gotcha. So both started with a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game then. But yeah, the one that I put the most hours into from like these three games here was always Diamond version. I didn't get as into Platinum version. Diamond and Pearl was the thing that I binged all the time while that was out before Platinum became a thing. And I actually used to play it with friends in elementary school. Like after school, there was an after school care thing where people waited there for their parents to pick them up later in the day and such and such. And I had a friend there who we would always play Pokemon with one another. And after several months of doing that, we also eventually got action replays, and we started cheating like the most OP teams we possibly could and using them against each other. And it was like some of the most fun I'd had. It was great. It was awesome. Anyway, for this playthrough, we will be playing it on emulator. So on the bottom screen, you'll be able to see my mouse cursor here and such. Also, this layout, like this layout here, I cannot tell you how many times I redesigned it. Like, because I have done a bunch of different layouts before. Like, I've experimented with an idea for a Pokemon Sun and Moon Soul Link that I might potentially do with Shuck in the future, and this is what I have right now for it, and it turned out really well, and I really like its look and such. But for just a DS, I was like, how big do I make the top screen? How big do I make the bottom screen? And eventually, I settled on this. And this was over the course of like several hours of redoing layouts. I'm really glad with how it turned out and such. So we have like the gym badges lined up here for when we collect those. We have Pokeballs over here, which are actually the Pokeball design that I drew up for this channel. So this is actually my own art here, these Pokeballs and such. And the art of Dawn there is something that I will be linking in the description. It's definitely not something I did. I'm not that talented. I wish I was. But yeah, and then like background and jar and chat box and stuff like that. But yeah, since you're doing it on emulator, are you going to do the Arceus event? That's a good question. Probably. My answer right now is going to be probably. And when you order the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire, they gave you a figurine as well. Yeah, you see, when it comes to my generation, my generation technically did start with Generation 3 Pokemon. Most of my friends started with Generation 3 Pokemon in, like, I don't know, grades 2 to 4, maybe something like that. I don't know, sometime around then. And most of my friends started with a Game Boy Advance as their first console. I only got into video games in general, like, a little bit later. Well, especially handhelds, I should say. And I only found out and got into Pokemon a little bit later when people in my class started, like, trading cards with one another and stuff. So I got into a little bit later with Generation 4, but most of the people of my age, and I'm 22, by the way, born in 1999, to like directly pinpoint my age. Most people my age did start with Generation 3. Also, I wasn't sure where to put the Dogi Cam on this layout. I'm gonna turn my camera up a little bit so you don't see my hands like clicky-clacking buttons and stuff. This layout is designed purely for like all this stuff. There's not really a place for Dogi Cam, but like we'll have it on there from time to time anyway, because I know people love the Dogi Cam. But during like the intro and cutscenes, we'll have it off, I figure, is what we'll do. Yeah, it's so weird that the Arceus event was never released. Like, they figured it was too hard to take a flute to a place and then use it. But in Generation 3, doing the absurd events that lead up to the freaking Reggies, they thought that was perfectly reasonable. Well, time to get our adventure underway. Hello there. It's so very nice to meet you. Welcome to the world of Pokémon. This is nostalgic, isn't it? My name is Rowan. However, everyone just calls me the Pokemon Professor. Before I go any further, is this your first adventure? If you need advice, I'm certainly capable of giving it. No info needed, sorry about that. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokémon. Here, I have a Pokeball. Touch the button on the middle of the Pokeball, if you'd please. Sure, will do. Also, there's something very special about today that I didn't mention earlier. Today is actually the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Black and White's release in North America. So, in terms of the North American release at least, it was released way earlier in Japan, but in terms of the North American release, today, the day of streaming this, March 6th, is actually the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Black and White in North America. So, you know, it's not exactly a milestone for Pokemon Platinum that we're streaming this on, but it's still, for like the following games after HeartGold and SoulSilver, the next generation, a milestone. So it's still a nice fitting thing to be playing this on this day. Yeah, it's already been 10 years since that. Isn't that crazy to think of? And then Platinum here was 2009, so that was like 12 years, something like that for, jeez. We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends. At times we play together, and at other times we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds with them. What do? I conduct research so that we may learn more about Pokemon, and I was probably in line for Black and White when it came out too as well. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? I started out with White version, but then later bought Black version as well. Are you a boy? Are you a girl? We're actually gonna set it as Dawn because she looks way better than I forget what the guy's name is. Alright, so you're a girl? Yeah, we'll say that. Also, I'll turn up the audio a smidge here since it seems a little bit quiet. We'll turn it to like that or something like that. Skip these games, you're busy with school, work stuff, that's understandable. Tell me, what is your name? So, I've tested out this layout before. I've tested out this game and this layout before just to make sure that things work. And guess what I found out in testing? It has one character, too few space for Harmonia. So, you know, that's a bit of a situation. So this isn't really a nickname that I ever set for myself ever, but it is something that some people had started calling me on the stream for the past few years, and it's something that like my ears have gotten used to, even if, you know, it's never exactly a nickname that I made for myself. There's quite a few people around the stream and channel that call me Harm, so we're gonna go with Harm, is the thing. Yeah, it's so strange how few characters there are. Your name is Harm. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I never really liked the idea because it can be interpreted as the word like harm, to like do harm to someone, but nowadays I've gotten used to it as, you know, the kind of harm sound of like harmonics or harmonia and stuff like that, you know. Okay, so you're Harm. A fine name, that is. Now, this boy here, I believe he's your friend. What might his name be? Barry, Nolan, Roy. Roy's our boy. We're gonna do a new name here. You use Glorf, now that's a name. And at least you managed to play SoulSilver. HeartGold, SoulSilver were like, in my opinion, in terms of gameplay, the peak of main series Pokemon gameplay. In terms of storytelling, I would say Black and White was the peak of main series Pokemon storytelling, but in terms of gameplay, whoo boy, HeartGold, SoulSilver was like certainly some kind of ceiling for the Pokemon series. Now, for the name of our friend here, I mentioned how there were friends that I played Pokemon with after school. But the main friend that I did this with, who I still talk to this day, he actually got into Pokemon a little bit later than I did. Like, and I was the one that got him into that. So I got into Pokemon from like other people in the class. And then from there, after talking to him and such, I got him into Pokemon. And I'm pretty sure he either started with Pokemon Diamond or Pearl or something like that, which I got him for his birthday. And this person in question is literally 1 day older than me. And every year he always rubs in how, like, he's so much older and wiser than I am and yada yada. But at the end of the day, it was on some birthday of his that I got him either Diamond or Pearl version. Or actually, maybe I got him Explorers of Darkness or something like that. But either way, I was the one that got him into the Pokemon series, which I honestly forgot about until I was reminded of it a few years ago when I was talking to him. But something that he told me a couple of years ago when I actually met up with him on campus at my university is we were in the bar at campus. I was meeting up with him and some other people from elementary school I hadn't seen in years. And something that he told me at this bar on campus was that after he got into Pokemon from me is that anytime he'd play a Pokemon game since then, he would always name his rival my name as like a reminder of, you know, me getting him into Pokemon and him and me being like his closest real life rival with us always playing Pokemon after school together. And I only found out about that a couple of years ago. And it was like the most touching thing to my heart. So to honor him, to honor how he apparently always gives the rival my name, I'm gonna give the rival his name, and he's the one that freaking lucks out with having 7 characters there. But yeah, hello Angela, hope you're doing well today. I mean, nice pick, what, for Pokemon Platinum here? Yeah, I figure I'll pay it forward. My friend Michael from elementary school, who maybe will eventually see this down the line. This is dedicated to you, my friend, for, like, I was absolutely touched when I heard about the rival always being named after me. So I feel like it's only fitting for me to just say, Michael, is it? That's your friend's name? Absolutely it is. For sure, Michael it is. Alright, Han, the time has come. Your very own tale of grand adventure is about to unfold. On your journey, you will meet countless Pokemon and people. I'm sure that along the way you will discover many things, perhaps even something about yourself. I wouldn't be surprised with this adventure. Now go on, leap into the world of Pokemon. I mean, yeah, if it's something I can get working, I would very much like to cover everything I can about this game in this playthrough. So, like, it's gonna be a playthrough that's gonna be going on for a good while on and off. Like, probably up until the, potentially, longest case scenario, up until the release of the remakes. We'll see. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Desmume here does support action replay code, so I'm fairly certain we can do it, because I sort of remember doing it in the past using that. Fun fact, you can actually, without using any cheat codes, just legitimately catch Arceus and Darkrai and Shaman infinitely in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but not in Platinum. The reason for this is there's a specific glitch that you can pull off in the game that lets you clip into the void, and you can actually go to the island where Darkrai is and the island where Shaman is within the void and battle them infinite times and come up through like the Savari zone or something like that. But the thing was, you couldn't find Arceus in the void because Arceus isn't actually at Spear Pillar without the Spirit Flute or whatever the heck in Diamond and Pearl. Like, it wasn't enough to do that. Yeah, you need the Azura Flute for him to spawn there, so you can't actually find him at Spear Pillar like you can with Darkrai and Shaman at their respective places. But I think this was literally just last year. People actually found Arceus in the void. I know it's supposed to be pronounced Arceus. I know that that's like the real pronunciation, but hopefully no one's going to be on my case about me saying Arceus because that's just my preferred way of saying it. But it was literally just last year, I believe. It might have been 2019. But very recently, they discovered Arceus in the void. it's definitely something worth looking into on like YouTube and stuff, because it's actually fascinating stuff. But you can't do it in Platinum because there's a bunch of invisible walls in the void that don't let you go from like point A to point B. So we can't showcase it here. It's something that you can only do in Diamond and Pearl, but not Platinum. It's very fascinating. Arceus. Yeah, I mean, that's supposed to be like the real pronunciation of it, but like, or like closer to the real pronunciation. But I like Arceus. That's what I grew up like knowing and such. Pokemon are by our side always. I hope you will understand the meaning of those words. What? Oh, that was Professor Rowan. So Pokemon are by our side always. I hope you will understand the meaning of those words. That was the comment left by Professor Rowan, who has returned to Sinnoh from the Kanto region. That concludes our special program, Let's Ask Professor Rowan, brought to you by Jubilife TV on Nationwide Net. See you next week, same time, same channel. Man. Oh, it's so charming looking at this here. And like looking at the hands and stuff like that of the remakes. I really don't. Ah! My oh my. There you are. Wait, what would... Do I actually want to try to impersonate what my friend Michael sounds like as best I can? I'm gonna freaking butcher it. There's no way. What? Like, his voice and tone is like super chill. It's like with me, with my voice, I like get really excited like this and I get like louder and louder and yada yada. Whereas his voice is more like laid back and chill. So he's more like, hey Harm, did you see the TV? Sure you did. Professor Rowan's that really important guy who studies Pokemon, right? That means he must have lots and lots of Pokemon. So if we ask him, I bet he'd give us some Pokemon. I'm butchering it, but whatever. Oh hey, is this a new PC? Where was I? Oh, right. We're gonna go see Professor Rowan and get some Pokemon. I'll be waiting outside. Okay, Harm? If you're late, I'm fining you 10 million. I can't do a kind of chill voice with with the characters saying stuff like that. Also, I think we'll have Doggy Cam on here from time to time. There's no real good place to put it without it blocking things. But yeah, I remember watching the Arceus movie and being scared by the Berserk Arceus. I got really into the Rise of Darkrai and a little bit into the Shaman movie. I only saw like the Arceus one like way after. I guess it doesn't block anything here. It's just blackness out there anyway. Like, I'll probably have the Doggy Cam off for most cutscenes whenever the Doggy's around. Harm. Michael already left. I don't know what it was about, but he sure was in a hurry. Man, what was he in such a hurry about? My actual friend Michael, I cannot envision him being in like a super big hurry. That's just not how I see him at all. Oh yes, Harm. Don't go into the tall grass. Wild Pokemon might attack you. It would be okay if you had your own Pokemon, but you don't, so... Well, take care, sweetie. Like, the personality of my actual friend here, as opposed to the character in-game, is, like, so much different. Also, because we're playing on, like, emulator, there's gonna be, like, the little black spots sometimes. Like, I can stream games from my 3DS to my computer, like, but as it turns out, it's only 3DS games. If I put a DS game in my 3DS and try to use my streaming software to stream from my 3DS to my PC, it doesn't actually work for DS games, only 3DS ones, which is, you know, rather odd. But I guess it's because the whole 3DS goes into the whole DS mode and stuff, and then it can't support the custom firmware streaming software, so that's irksome. I would have very much liked to have played Platinum on my actual 3DS for this, but because I do have a custom firmware 3DS, what might be possible after we're done with this playthrough is I might actually be able to transfer my save data from the emulator to Platinum version on my 3DS, and then still be able to like transfer my Pokemon to the modern games. Maybe. It's a big maybe, but if I can do it, I will. What was that about? Oh, hey Harm. Hey, I'm gonna see Professor Rowan. You should come too, and quickly. Yeah, the calm tone does not suit for whatever. Oh jeez, forgot something. I can just imagine him in my head being like, oh, snap, better go get the thingamabob, or whatever the heck. I don't know why I'm imagining him saying that. I better take my bag and journal too. Like, you know, if he forgot something, he's the kind of person who'd like say it in a joke kind of way, like, well, guess I screwed up. Oh, hey Harm, I'll be waiting on the road. It's a 10 million fine if you're late. Also, it's a Wii. It's controlled by a Wii remote. Oh, different times, huh? Oh, how times were different. Yeah, I very much do like the look for Dawn much more than whatever the male trainer's name is in this game. I definitely do much prefer that. Route 201. I love the route themes in this game. The route themes are probably my favorite in the entire series, to the point that I might turn it up a smidge again. Too slow. Yeah, I think it's hilarious that most boisterous protagonist has the most chill and calm voice in this playthrough. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. How about? All right, let's get moving to Professor Rowan's lab. Because the person that he's named after is someone who, like, talks in a very calm, kind of chill way. What? Don't go into the grass, right? No worries, no problem. Doesn't matter that we don't have any Pokemon. Trust me on this one. I've got an idea. Now listen, you know how wild Pokemon jump out when you go into tall grass? So, what you do is, you scoot over to the next patch of grass before any wild Pokemon can appear. If we just keep dashing, we can get to Sandgem Town without running into wild Pokemon. Okay, stick with me. Yeah, it's so out of character. Okay, here goes. On your marks. Hold it! Stop! You violated the law. Pay the quarter fine or serve your sentence. Your stolen goods are now forfeit. You two don't seem to have any Pokemon between you. Then, what is the meaning of going into the tall grass? Hey, Harm, this old guy. It's Professor Rowan, isn't he? What's he doing here? I do love Oblivion dialogue. They tried to go into the tall grass because they wanted Pokemon. What to do? Their world would surely change if they were to meet Pokemon. Is it right for me to put them on that path? You two, you truly love Pokemon, do you? Heck yeah! Which is why it's really sad to see the modern state of Pokemon. Me too. I love Pokemon too. I will ask you once again. Do you or do you not love Pokemon? No, what? You can ask 100 times. The answer will never change. We'll both answer 100 times. We love Pokemon. Right, Harm? It just baits you into saying yes at the end of the day and you're saying yes. A pair of reckless kids who foolishly try to enter tall grass without Pokemon of their own. It worries me what people like that would do with Pokemon. Well then, forget about me, but give a Pokemon to my friend here. I mean, it was me who tried to go into the tall grass and all. How big of you? Very well then. I will entrust you two with Pokemon. I apologize for putting you through that exercise. However, you must promise that you will never recklessly endanger yourselves again. And the second part of the test begins now. It is a battle royale. Now then, to Fortnite Island with you. Now where? I'm suddenly remembering his name. It's Lucas. Professor Rowan, you left your briefcase behind at the lake. Is something wrong here? Ah, there it is. Lucas, nice work. My 5 ounces of crystal metal. What I was about to do was to entrust these two with their own Pokemon. What? Those Pokemon are crucial. You're giving them away? We exist side by side with Pokemon. There comes a time when people should meet Pokemon. Our cancer research can wait. I mean, what? There's a world that should be explored together. I'm sorry, that was probably a bit too dark. For them, today is that time. The place, right here. Go on, open the briefcase and choose a Pokemon. Yeah, this is the only professor who thinks twice about giving children these beasts of destruction to play with. Yeah, that's a very good point, isn't it? Really? Professor Rowan? I can't believe it. I'm so happy now that I can't keep a straight face. Hey, Harm, you can choose first. Hey, I'm practically a grown-up. I have to show some class here. That is exactly something like the actual Michael would say, with being freaking 1 day older than me, like the nerd he is. That is absolutely something that he would say to me and probably has said to me down the line. That probably is exactly something he's said to me before, honestly. My goodness. Well, and here we have it, our 3 Pokeballs. Look, is this Michael's voice? Look, these are Pokeballs, and there's a Pokemon in each one. Now choose, which Pokemon will it be? Will it be the Tiny Leaf Pokemon Turtwig? Will it be the Chimp Pokemon Chimchar? Or will it be the Penguin Pokemon Piplup? Is this the Pokemon for you? So, yeah, because I did play the original in my case, Marvel, I'm very worried about the remake. Essentially, I'm working on a video essay on this subject right now, but essentially, every past Pokemon remake has been a new modern take on a classic title. Like, it feels like a new original game. just with like a layer of paint of like something familiar. Like, for example, with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. That was a remake of Ruby Sapphire Emerald, but it included so many things that weren't in the originals, like the Delta episode, like Mega Evolution, big emphasis on that, like the Dex Nav, like Latios Latias Soaring, like every previous legendary from like every previous game, stuff like that, where it felt like a new original game in the series, just disguised as a remake. The Diamond and Pearl remakes are not going to be that. Not at all. Like, I was hoping that it would be a new way to experience Diamond and Pearl in, like, a new light, like, Pokemon actually existing in the world instead of being random encounters in tall grass and stuff like that. Being able to, like, have Pokemon walking behind you and actually have really nice 3D models for the characters. Like Sword and Shield had a lot of issues, but I really like the character models, like the human models and stuff like that for the main characters. I think that those are really nice, especially the customization. So it would have been really neat to have experienced Diamond and Pearl in a new way. But the remakes look like you're just experiencing them in the exact same way they were in the original, and just in a new art style, and that's it. So that's why I'm not really looking forward to the remakes, because with a remake with Pokemon, I anticipate something that's familiar, but like a solid taste of something I never tasted before. The Diamond Pearl remakes look exactly like the exact same thing that I've tasted before. It just looks different. So there's that. Also, all the previous remakes have been interactable with the other games in their generation, essentially. Like Fire Red, Leaf Green, you can trade and battle Pokemon with Ruby Sapphire Emerald. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you can trade battle Pokemon with Diamond Pearl Platinum. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you can trade battle Pokemon with Pokemon X and Y, and all those Pokemon are available. But because not every Pokemon is available in Sword and Shield, including several Generation 4 ones, there's absolutely no chance that you'd be able to interact with the Diamond and Pearl remakes with Sword and Shield. Like, no trading, no battling, you probably won't even be able to catch past Generation 4 Pokemon in the remakes, unlike every other previous Pokemon remake where you could catch all the way up to modern Pokemon. There's no way that's going to be the case in Diamond and Pearl remakes, just by the nature of Sword and Shield not having every Pokemon available, is the thing. So it's literally just going to be the originals with a new coat of paint. No interactability. And back in the day with remakes, you used to be able to, as long as you had a game in the same generation as someone else, you could trade, you could battle, you could have fun with your friends. Whereas with modern Pokemon, if you don't own the same game or its direct counterpart, you can't interact with your friends. Let's say you own Let's Go Eevee. You can only interact with Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. Let's say you have Sword or Shield. You can only interact with Sword and Shield. Let's say you have the Diamond Pearl remakes. You can only interact with those. And one of the most magical things about Pokemon, one of the biggest reasons why it took off so much, is because of the interactability. Like, back when it came out, there was no other RPG like that where you could trade with other people and battle with other people. Like, there were so many single-player adventures that didn't have anything like that. That's one of the biggest magical things about Pokemon. And by essentially having everything on the Switch being its own collective thing that can't interact with anything else, they've essentially stripped down and butchered that massive thing that made Pokemon so magical, is the thing. So, like, I genuinely think that the Switch has been, like, the downfall of the Pokemon series. Like, and I didn't think that when Sword and Shield came out. I was really enthusiastic about Sword and Shield, and for most of my playthrough of it. It's only with the more recent news, it's ever since Pokemon Home and onward that I've had a much more pessimistic view and really begun to get more critical about the underhanded tactics and just the way that it stripped away the magic of the Pokemon series. Like the whole Pokemon Home situation. Because you can't transfer every Pokemon to Sword and Shield, that means that any Pokemon that you can't transfer from there, you have to keep paying for Pokemon Home to keep them in Home under threat of deletion. So Pokemon Home is essentially ransomware. You have to keep paying them to have your data not be deleted. So Pokemon Home is essentially a loophole for a legal version of ransomware. Is one way of looking at it. And I feel like Sword and Shield onward has just, my goodness. But yeah. I don't understand the note to Fire Emblem there, Marvel. I don't quite understand there. And Alucard, you haven't bought any Switch Pokemon game? Like, I find them good and enjoyable, but man, like, I would argue that the only reason that not every Pokemon is available in Sword and Shield is just so that they can make, like, massive cash off of ransomware Pokemon Home. Like, it's an insanely smart strategy, but it's so underhanded and scummy. to like manipulate people like that. But essentially, on a lighter note of an actual good game in front of us, when it comes to the Pokemon that we choose, as I said before, this was my first ever main series Pokemon game. And the first Pokemon that I started out with was actually Turtwig. And there's actually something very special about Turtwig as well, because in the Pokemon universe, they always say that like, oh, on a kid's 10th birthday, they get their first starter Pokemon and then they be on their way with their journey and whatnot. And the thing was, when I turned 10, wanna know what I got? I actually have it in the other room if I go get it. I still have it to this day, literally 12 years later since turning 10. I still have the Turtwig plush that I literally got on my 10th birthday, which I remember clearly, and it's completely fallen apart. The leaves are like all over the place and stuff. It's not exactly in the best form, but it doesn't change the fact that I still have this Turtwig to this day. Can it go on top of Platinum? There's no way. Well, maybe we should move Platinum out of the way and put Turtwig there. If it can stay. Wait, if I change my base a little bit. Yeah, something like that. So this is literally the Turtwig that I got on my 10th birthday. Can't even really see it that well there. But yeah, so Turtwig is definitely a very special Pokemon to me in a lot of ways, you could say. So of course I have to go with Turtwig and such. And I choose you. I'm picking this Chimchar. Very well. Both of you have chosen a good Pokemon, it seems. Now listen well. The Pokemon you have been entrusted with are unfamiliar with the world. In that regard, they're much like you. As fellow newcomers to the world, I hope you'll do well together. If you have any trouble here, come see me at my lab in Sandgem Town. And now, we'll be on our way. Alright, so we have our first Pokemon right there, Turtwig. Professor, wait for me! Sorry folks. My very first Pokemon I ever received, Turtwig, and the Pokemon that I got for my birthday there. How do you like that? Professor Rowan's really nice. On TV, he seems so stern and crazy. We've both got Pokemon now. There's only one thing to do, right? Are you up for this? Yeah, we're doing it. I always wanted to say this. The time has finally come. Harm, I challenge you to a battle. Alrighty, starting out with our first rival battle here. You are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Michael. Starting things out here. Also, in case anyone's curious, all the sprites that we're going to be using over here are from Pokemon Black and White, is what they are. Alright, so as one does during the first battle, just spam a whole bunch of attacking moves is what we do. I missed my first tackle! I muted my mic somewhere. I appreciate the heads up. Whoops. Anyway, what I was saying there, I can't believe I muted my mic. I appreciate the heads up there. Don't know how I accidentally hit that. I mean, it's pretty close to my 8 button, which is right on the arrow keys. Anyway, missed because your rival is a day older and wiser than you. If the real Michael heard that, what he would say, he would be like, yeah, that, exactly. Yeah, hear that? is what he'd tell me. Absolutely. That is absolutely what would happen. Alright, I'll turn off Doggy Cam in case he comes on, in case... No, there's no way that I use this for a freaking thumbnail. This bit here. Because it's gonna be part 1 and stuff anyway. What are you saying? We ended up losing. Well? Neat. I'll turn Doggy Cam back on. Yeah, there's no good place for Doggy Cam on this layout. Oh, let's go home. I'm beat after that battle. My Pokemon needs rest too. See ya, Harm. Man, it's so nostalgic to come back to this. I forgot about, you know, what it was like playing these games back then. This is... I've got like a fuzzy feeling coming with this. No, I've never heard of a no damage run of this. Didn't even know it was a thing. What's the matter, dear? Wow, that's what happened to you? You and Michael are lucky to have met Professor Rowan. Imagine if you didn't. I wouldn't like to think of what the wild Pokemon might have done to you two. Yeah, really dangerous pecks and scratches. Go see Professor Rowan and thank him properly for your Pokemon. His lab is in Sandgem Town, isn't it? Now that you have your own Pokemon, the tall grass won't be so threatening. Oh, I know. Harm, put these on. Received a pair of running shoes. Now we can finally run there. Going to Sandgem Town is like an adventure in itself, right? With those running shoes, you can get to faraway places much faster. Okay, let me read the instructions. Press the B button and dash about faster than ever before. Put on the running shoes and blaze new trails of adventure. Well, isn't that just nifty? Absolutely it is. Time to run. Let's go. I really do like the scarf and such, especially considering, you know, I am somebody who wears scarves and such. So when characters in games have scarves, I love it, you know? Too slow. Harm, I'm sick of waiting. I'm going to go see Professor Rowan so I can thank him properly. So, I had this great idea. Listen up, okay? You know that lake where we always play at? You know how they say a legendary Pokemon lives there? You guessed it. Let's catch that Pokemon. That'll make Professor Rowan happy. I'm sure of that. Me and you together. We've got nothing to fear. Man, definitely not the voice that you would imagine for for Barry / Michael in our case. Alrighty. Alright, we're at the lake. Get ready because we're capturing that legendary Pokemon. Trust me on this one, it's here. It even says so on the sign. And yeah, I can back up what Mortis is saying there. What's going on? Ah, the chill music. The flowing time, the expanding space. I will make it all mine one day. Cyrus is my name, and playing's my game. Remember it. Until then, sleep while you can. Legendary Pokemon of the lake bed. Allow me to pass. Step aside. Puny mortal. What was that about? Weird guy. Okay, Harm, let's catch that legendary Pokemon. Did you hear that, Harm? That was the legendary Pokemon crying. That had to be it. Okay, this is our chance. Let's catch it. Wait, what? We don't have anything on us. You know, Pokeballs. Okay. Wow, it has been a long time since I spelled anything. Accent E, balls. If we don't have those, we can't catch Pokemon or take them around with us. Do you think Professor Rowan would give us some if we asked him? You know, you remember what he said, don't you? He said to visit him after his lab if we needed anything. Okay, Harm, I'll race you. First one to the professor's lab in Sandgem Town rules. Yeah, this is the tone that I imagine more so for the actual Michael I know is like more chill like that. I can't really imagine him saying like competitive things like that unless it had to do with him being older than me, I guess, you know. Anyway, as for the Fire Emblem talk going there, I find the general gameplay of Fates, like in battle and such, like the mechanics that they have with like the gambits and the general gameplay is like probably the most fun I've had with the series, but it's everything else about it that I don't like. Like, I'm working on a video essay on that subject, which is a little bit on hold because I'm also working on some other I'm working on a lot of freaking projects right now. Bidoof! If only we had Pokeballs. Just because, like, I feel like Bidoof is gonna be a very helpful Pokemon to have around, considering, you know, how many different HMs Bidoof can use. So I have a feeling that we might be taking around a Bidoof. Is the DM'd me the no damage run? Alrighty. I'll check it out at some point then. Boop, gain some experience and such. I know that a lot of people just run from battles. I'm the kind of person that like attacks in every battle because, you know, then you gain experience and such. Hi, I've been waiting for you. Please, come with me. The professor's waiting to see you. See, and this is our Pokemon research lab. We'll just go ahead and... Well... What the... Oh, it's you, Harm. That old guy, he's not so scary as much as he is totally out there. It doesn't matter, Harm. I'm out of here. See you later. I'm one day older than you. Piece of crap. What was that? Your friend always seems to be in such a rush. Anyway, let's go in. Yeah, let's head on in here. That's a good question if I'm, like, naming them. Is a thing. Like, I was debating about potentially adding a new channel points thing that lets people in the stream potentially name my Pokemon. Maybe? I don't know. Well, look who's here. Harm, was it? Let's have a look at your Pokemon. Oh, this theme is so nostalgic. Like, I could always add that, like, really quickly as a category for, like... Because there's not a whole lot of things that you can do with channel points on this channel, and I always want to add, like, new things. So it could always be that, like, you guys may be able to name them. Maybe? I see. This Pokemon seems to be rather happy. It was technically the Pokemon that I got 12 years ago for my 10th birthday. Well, it's not the same one, but you know what I mean. Entrusting you with that Turtwig was no mistake, it seems, but it does give me memories back then, from back then, you know? Well, would you like to give it a nickname? I mean, I never had any nickname for my Pokemon back then, so I don't think I will for, like, my main one and my... Because I don't know what kind of name I do is the thing. Like, I used 2 Pokemon back then. Because it was my first main series Pokemon game, I'm the kind of person that, like, I was a freaking dumb kid that, like, just used my starter and didn't even think about catching other Pokemon to, like, train up and use my team. I just, like, you know, power through with my starter. But because you could give the EXP share to one other Pokemon, there was one other Pokemon that miraculously gained enough levels to become a mainstay in my party. And that was my Starly that eventually went on to become a Staraptor. So you can bet we're getting a freaking Starly for that reason. And... like, I remember on the way to Snowpoint City, literally running out of moves on my Torterra and, like, not knowing what to do anymore and just being, like, super lost. But then somehow, in my party, was this Staraptor that I had, like, basically not used up until that point, but had somehow still gained enough experience that it was able to carry me through to the end to Snowpoint City, despite both Torterra and Staraptor having a weakness to ice. And from then on, it was literally those 2 that I stuck with as, like, my main 2, and I went through the rest of the game with. Those were my main 2, so we're absolutely going with Turtwig and getting a Starly. And I believe my Turtwig was male and my Starly was female, I believe, so we'll keep an eye out for a female Starly for our, like, memories and such to match it up to, like, the way things were back then. But for the rest of my team, I straight up don't know, like, what it should be. Like, should we have a points redemption of, like, make me catch and use this Pokemon for a while, or maybe names or things? I don't know. And what about a potential... like, I never gave nicknames back then, is the thing. So same thing kind of there. Like, I don't even know what I do for a nickname. That's a neato name. Reminds me of Fire Emblem Awakening almost. I could always go with freaking Fire Emblem names. Why can you give Pokemon so much longer names than you can your own character? What? My goodness, unbelievable. Absolutely rigged. I could always... I mean, Turtwig evolves into something that's very tanky. What's a tanky character in Fire Emblem? There's Kellam, no way. There's Benny, gross. I have a grudge against the name Benny. No offense to anybody who had... No, not Walhart, no way. No offense to anybody who has the name Benny. But a couple of years ago, I helped develop a game in this game design class over the course of, like, 3 months. And our main playable character was this little kind of imaginary wisp-like creature, almost spiritual, almost like a ghost or a spirit, something like that. And so parts of myself and other members of the team proposed some things that, like, played into that, like Wisp or something like that. And then our story writing guy, who was a massive asshole, by the way, but that's unrelated, he proposed the name Benny. And I was like, wait, wouldn't it make more sense to go with something that, like, seems like it would fit the character more? It was like, no, we're going with Benny for now. Like, our story writing guy was basically like, it's my way or the highway. And we freaking developed this freaking wisp-like creature that was called Benny, which it does not look like it should be fitting for that name at all, this little wisp creature that we designed a game around. So I have a bad track record with the name Benny, so when it comes to, like, other Fire Emblem tanky units, definitely not that. How about from other games I played? Xenoblade 2 recently got into Smash. What about Xenoblade 2 names? Definitely not Zeke. Definitely not Rex. Actually, maybe. I'll consider that one. What other male main characters are there in Xenoblade 2 that aren't like bad guys? There's Jin and Malos. Rex could be interesting. Jin or Malos could be interesting. What if we named you Malos? That could be very spicy. I kind of like the idea of Malos. Seth could also be interesting, thinking about Bravely Default 2, since that's the, yeah, Bravely Default 2. I'm kind of liking both Malos and Seth. Maybe we'll name at least one person. Oh yeah, he is currently my main tank in Bravely Default 2. But like, that'll probably change though, as also a thing. I mean, Malos isn't exactly a tank, but like, you know, I kind of like the character of Malos in Xenoblade 2, and I like his name as well. I might just do that. You know what? Let's do a Xenoblade 2 reference. Let's do Malos. Sure, yeah. Yeah, it is a neat name though. Okay, I see. And you're happy with that nickname? You know what? Sure. Yeah, we'll give Pokemon nicknames in this one. In this playthrough, we'll actually give them proper names. I first saw you two about to step into the tall grass without Pokemon. I was shocked. I was astounded by these foolhardy children. But now, you've astounded me in an entirely different way. Already, there is a bond growing between you and that Pokemon. You've astounded me in a completely different way. The name that you gave to your Pokemon is a reference to an anime game. I can't believe you. I feel privileged to have met you. I'm sure Turtwig feels that. Wait, what? Did it not save the... So I'll ask you to cherish that Turtwig of yours. Wait, did it just not say the nickname there? Boy, am I glad you're kind towards Pokemon. If you weren't, well, I don't even want to think about it. We'd have to go get the baseball bat from underneath the counter. The game just does that. Weird. I thought it bugged out for a second. Let's move on to the main topic. Death of Fortnite. I mean, there's something I want you to do for me. Allow me to properly introduce myself first. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. I mean, my name, as you know, is Rowan. I study Pokemon. First of all, I want to know exactly what kinds of Pokemon live in the Sinnoh region. To do so, it is necessary to collect data using the Pokédex. This is what I wish to ask of you. I want to entrust you with this Pokédex. Will you use it to record data on all the Pokemon in the Sinnoh region for me? I mean, there's no way we're catching them all here. But, good answer. Harm obtained the Pokédex. I've caught them all in main series Pokemon games already, in the past. That Pokédex is a very high-tech device. It will automatically record data on every kind of Pokemon you encounter. Harm, I ask that you go everywhere and meet every kind of Pokemon in this region. I've got the same kind of Pokédex as you. When you walked up Route 201 with your Pokemon, what did you feel? Pain? I've lived for 60 long years. Even now, where did you feel the pain? I've lived for 60 long years. Even now I get pain when I walk on Route 201. Even now I get a thrill when I'm with a Pokemon. Now, you should know that there are countless Pokemon in this world. That means there are just as many thrills waiting for you out there. Now go! Get out of my lab! Your grand adventure begins right now. The professor asked me to help, so I'm filling the Pokédex pages too. That makes us comrades working towards the same goal, except you never do anything, so I'll teach you stuff later, okay? And away he goes. But yeah, I referenced your mom's favorite movie there, Modus. I haven't actually seen it in forever. I used to make that reference on the stream all the time, except I'd get the name wrong. So I'd make a fool of myself. At least I know the name right now, I think, I hope. I have something good here. Something real good. But it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you if you want something real good. You should take this as well. Obtain the TM27. One change that I do like with more recent Pokemon games, well, Gen 5 onward, is that TMs are infinite use. It sucks that they're used up here. That is a technical machine. That one contains the move Return. Using a technical machine, or TM for short, teaches a move instantly to a Pokemon. Bear in mind, however, that a TM is a single use only. The move Return gains power the more friendly your Pokemon is with you. It's up to you, of course, if you want to use that TM or not. It's probably not going to do a whole lot of damage right now because we only just got the Pokemon. I'll send you off with the wish that your journey will be fun. But will it be more fun than the remakes? Is the whole reason we're playing this. Is to play this, and then the remakes later this year, and then really, really think about which one is more fun. You know? Well, I'll be. The professor had TMs. Next thing, he'll tell me he battled when he was young. Hey Harm, I want to show you a few things, so follow me. But yeah, this building with the red roof is the Pokemon Center. You can get your Pokemon healed if it's been hurt in battle. You can find a Pokemon Center in most towns. And I don't know, I know that there's a lot of regions in Pokemon, but there's more regions in the real world as well though, Mortis, than in Pokemon. Over here, the building with the blue roof is the Pokemart. It's a shop where you can buy and sell all sorts of items. Harm, since you're a rookie trainer, you won't be able to buy very much stuff. Don't worry about it, okay? They just refuse to sell you because they're not good enough. Oh yeah, right, Harm. You should let your family know you're helping Professor Rowan put together his Pokédex. Sometimes you have to go far away, and you should let someone know. Oh, but first, go heal up your Pokemon at the Pokemon Center. You'll be safe then. Okay, be seeing you. I kid you not, the first time I played Pokemon Black and White, during the tutorial that showed you how to use a Pokemon Center, Nurse Joy told me my starter had Pokerus. And Professor Juniper just continued with like the tour of the Pokemon Center, and it was hilarious. And I don't know what the odds of that were, but yeah, Pokemon's gonna keep making games until money dries up, so there's gonna be more regions. But there's so much land and things in the real world, though. So I don't know if things in Pokemon is ever gonna, you know, be more than there is in the real world.